Hi everybody, my name is Ralph, and in this video I'm going to show you how to run batch APIs using the Coherent Python SDK. If you're not familiar with batch APIs, there are a series of endpoints that allow you to collectively process a massive amount of data while using a dedicated infrastructure. While you could manually orchestrate this operation using the API documentation, this demo will demonstrate how to achieve the exact same results using the Python SDK. The Python SDK package can be found in the PyPy library under the name CSpark, short for Coherent Spark. As you may probably guess, this Python package covers a series of Spark endpoints, especially those for batch APIs. For more information, you can navigate to the main documentation. However, for today's demo, I will jump right in and show you how it works. We are going to be using this term life quote model as a Spark service to show you the batch API in actions. If we take a quick look here at the service to see what happens, on the left you could see a series of inputs. Those are the fields we're going to be using, and if I execute this, on the right you could see the expected outputs. Here in VS Code you can see the code base that I'm going to use to run this process. Let me walk you through it real quick. The .demo folder contains the Python environment that we're going to be using. It has Python 3.11 and all the dependencies. The second item here is the .env file that I'm going to use to keep the Spark credentials, such as bearer token and base URL. Let me show you real quick. The inputs.json file here is the dataset we'll be using. This dataset contains about 1,000 data points, and you could see it's in a tabular format, which means you see the input headers first, followed by the input values. The source code here is the main.pile that contains the logic to run batch API. The requirements here includes the additional data dependencies required to run this script. Obviously, CSpark is one of them. Okay, let's open the terminal and see how this is gonna work. Here, I have my terminal open. I want to run this by executing the main.py file. Once I do this, it's going to start a process. Let me take this full screen so you can appreciate it. Like we talked about, we created a batch pipeline and pushed 1,000 records to it, and we'll wait for it to be complete. You can see this was executed super fast and in one go. And as discussed, this represents a series of endpoints that we call collectively to be able to achieve this. Let's take a look at the outputs to see what happens. Let's minimize this and let's open the outputs.json. In this file, you can see it's divided by chunks, and each chunk has the inputs field and also the outputs field. And the inputs field represents the chunks that we submitted as input data, and the outputs field is the results we get back from Spark, which also came in a tabular format. These output headers are the same as we saw in the API tester. We choose to save this as a file, but you're free to choose a different persistence layer for your system. This was all for the batch API demo. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you in the next video.